Hello everyone, welcome for this new video dedicated to the Imperial City. During 10 days I had the chance to test for you the Imperial City on the PTS, and I believe I got a good overview of the content to come. I will share with you my first impression and if I think that the Imperial City is worth your money or not. But beware, this is not a guide. There is too many details that can still be tweaked, balanced or changed during the weeks to come, as the content is still being tested right now. For more clarity, I will divide this video in several parts, from the most PVER friendly to the least friendly. So we will start by the dungeon, then the sewer, then the district, and I will finish by some conclusion. As a reminder, the Imperial City is the first DLC published by Zenimax. It will be released the 31 August 2015 for PC and Mac, the 15th September for Xbox One and the 16th September for PlayStation 4. It will cost 2,500 Kron in the Kron store, or you can have access to it if you are a current ESO Plus member as long as you keep your subscription. I hope you will enjoy this video and find it informative. Let's start with the dungeon. The two new dungeons are the WhiteGoldTower and the Imperial Prison, and you can have access to them from anywhere from the map. It works exactly like a new dungeon, so you do not need to be inside the Imperial City to reach the dungeon. Of course, there's also an entrance in the sewers for the WhiteGoldTower and in the Memorial District for the Imperial Prison. But as I say, you can teleport to it like a normal dungeon. You will have a normal version and a veteran version. The veteran version is exactly like the normal version, so it's not a new layout, it's not new boss, it's not new strategy, it's the same but a lot harder. You also have undaunted quests related to Soul Dungeon with a gold key challenge, obviously for the veteran version. My first impression of those dungeons is amazing. First of all, from an aesthetical point of view, they are just plainly gorgeous. I was a little bit afraid that it will be too much in terms of necrotic, daedric theme, as we have already Banished Cell, Crypt of Heart and the Vault of Madness, that all are necrotic, daedric, cultist kind of dungeons below earth, black and purple and blue and very dark themed, but they managed to make two very different dungeons that have a different feel. For the WhiteGoldTower, it's a very iconic place, as it's the tower from Oblivion, so it's something very important for the fan of the Elder Scrolls, and it's really amazing. The layout is very different, you are climbing in a tower, it's very beautiful, the architecture is gorgeous, and I will try to not spoil too much, even if you will see it on the image, but what they have made about it is just awesome and wonderful. The Imperial Prison, I was very impressed about it, because I thought I would prefer the WhiteGoldTower, but I did the Imperial Prison after that, and I must confess, I even find it more beautiful. It's just gorgeous, interesting, because you don't just have halls that are a bit banal or commods. No, it's very different. You have very tight place where you feel a bit restricted, like you cannot breathe very well, and then you have open rooms that are very interesting, and then you have the plants that are melting together, so it starts to become Cold Harbor. It's really beautiful and you will love it. Now, from a gameplay point of view, the fight of the boss are extremely interesting. There is 4 bosses by dungeon, plus mini bosses and tough encounter in between. But the 4 bosses really present very interesting, challenging and different mechanic. So you will have a lot of fun doing them and trying to figure out how it's working and to set up your group quite nicely for it. I've been tested the dungeon in normal mods only. I've not tested the veteran one, but I know it's very tough, very difficult. But for the normal, the difficulty is just right, like it should be. It's challenging and force you to respect the strategy. You have to figure out how it works. When you know how it works, and if you have enough DPS, it will go quite smooth, but still being interesting. You will not face roll it. You will have to be careful and play properly. That's exactly what I'm expecting from a dungeon. Now, in each dungeon you will have the possibility to find some very interesting PvE set of gear that propose some interesting bonuses, and in the veteran mode you will have 2 new monster heads. So if you are PvE players, if you enjoy to do dungeons, you are excited about boss fight and you enjoy finding interesting loot, you will be very sad to miss out this content. So I will recommend you to purchase the DLC Imperial City, even if you are not interested at all in the PvE part, because those dungeons are really worth your money. That's my opinion. The sewer is a giant public dungeon that you will find below the Imperial City. It is filled with danger of all kinds, a lot of Daedra monsters, small ones, big bosses, roaming bosses, and other players, as the PvP is activated in this area. So, it's also the place where you will try to find treasure. First, the Telvar stone that are dropped by either the monster or the other players if you manage to kill them. This Telvar stone is a new currency that allows you to purchase new equipment or crafting material that you can sell to other players or in your trading guild if you don't want them for yourself. You can bank also your Telvar stone in your own bank to secure them and to not lose them when you're killed, because if you're killed you lose 10% of your Telvar stone to monster or 100% or 80% to other players. It depends what Zenimax will decide. The structure of the sewers is very interesting. Imagine a giant labyrinth of hallway and small rooms and bigger room with bosses inside, where there is danger everywhere. You never know on what you will fall next. Will it be a new players? Will it be a trap, a ambush? You don't know what will happen, and it makes the whole thing very interesting. As you can see on the map, each faction has their own sewer, starting by their safe zone and going through the center. You cross 3 different levels of your faction sewer. Deeper you go towards the center, more difficult are the monster and more rewarding are the rewards. Note that on your way you may also find some treasure chests, some treasure scamp, that works a little bit like the gold goblin in Diablo. If you kill it before it's disappear, you will find a lot of treasure, and you can also gather some trophies that will allow you to open some special treasure vaults. Once you arrive to the center, you will access to the other faction sewer and you can explore them if you want. This is very interesting because we do not know how players will react and how they will play the game, so it's a little bit difficult to predict how it will work for everyone, because it will change. It will depend on many things: how the player will play, how the guild will organize themselves, how the politics between various factions will happen, and this can change from one campaign to another, so you really do not know exactly what to expect. But what I can say is that for a PvE player, someone that do not really want to confront too much with other players, this can be the best place to enjoy Imperial City and to participate to the Telvar Stone hunt. because you can play quite safe by staying mostly in your own faction sewers and not going too deep towards the center. If you are in a group of players, you will be protected by friends, you are kind of safe. Of course, this doesn't mean you will never find any other player sneaking on you, or that you will never die to another boss or something, but you are relatively safe. You can put your stone in your bank and you will not feel too powerless facing other person. You will not feel like you're in the middle of the war zone, which actually happen on top. So I think that it's a very good compromise between PvE and PvP. It gives a bit of adrenaline and of excitement because you don't really know what to expect, but you can also play safe. What will you do? How will you play the game? Will you play safe and secure in your own area? Will you want to explore the other faction dungeon just for the fun and the excitement? Or will you be someone that sneaks in the hallway waiting for someone to come by, assassinate him and steal it all the stone? Well, we do not know what you will do. We do not know what will happen, and that's part of the excitement of the sewer. And now let's speak about the Imperial City, the place where the fights really happen. The Imperial City is divided in 6 districts. Each district has its own name, its own layout, and its own bosses, because yes, in the district you find also Daedric bosses and Daedric monsters of all kinds, and they can be quite surprising. You also have some mini event of some sort, but mostly it's a PvP area. It's a war zone. You will face other players constantly, and it can be tough to try to down a boss with your friends while you also have to fight against other players and be sure that they are not stealing your kill. But it also makes it very interesting and very exciting because everything are happening so fast. When you get killed, you respawn in the respawn point, which is in the same district but in an elevated place to avoid corpse camping, and you can jump back in the fight pretty fast. The area is also in a medium size. I will not say it's very big, but it's not small either. It's a bit like a battleground, and it has these feels of a brawling fight where you meet other players. If you hate PvP, you may not like this place, however, or you will have to wait that it's the morning, or that everyone is sleeping, or to have a lot of friends to go with you to finish your quest if you have quests to do there or anything like that, because it's dangerous. It's a war zone, and if you really feel like bad PvPers, it will not be the place for you. But I've noticed that from one district to another, the fight will feel very differently. For instance, the Memorial District, which were the most used during the PTS, is really a face-to-face district where players are circling in rounds and they stay in this lane in the middle and they are constantly fighting each other, while some other districts are more like streets where you can hide in buildings, and it will have a very different feel. So it's also up to you to see which district you prefer, which kind of fight you prefer to have, and how you want it to happen. I think it's very interesting. It's something that a lot of players have waiting for. Personally, even if I'm a very bad PvPer, this is the kind of PvP I enjoy. Zero Deal, it was not really my cup of tea. I'm not so much into siege weaponry and fortress thingy, so I enjoy more this kind of face-to-face PvP, even if I will be the one dying too much. If you want to just join the fight and just have fun, my suggestion is you drop all your stone in your bank and you just go ahead to kill people and just enjoy the game like that, and do not worry about silver stone if you earn them or if you lose them. If you're just enjoying yourself, that's the best way to play the game. In conclusion, I think that the Imperial City is an amazing content and that can offer fun for every sort of players. May you be the purest PVEer, you have two gorgeous and very fun dungeons to explore. May you be a casual player that do not really know what to do, what build to use. You can explore yourself and enjoy yourself in a group in the sewers and gather a lot of silver stone. Or you can learn how to fight and become a better PvPer by facing players face to face and being able to die and respawn and have a more interactive PvP that will allow you more possibility to learn how to fight. I think that the content leads so many possibilities, so many ways of playing the game and enjoying yourself, that it's something that you should not pass on. Now there is also a lot of unknown. We do not know what will happen. There's still a design that Zenimax need to test and decide. For instance, the gating, how players will access to the Imperial City. They also need to solve some problem that the game have at the moment, like the champion point, or the lag, or some stability issue. But mostly, the big unknown is how the players will react, how will they play, how the guild will organize themselves, how some person will manage to abuse the system to find a way to dominate everyone else, how there will be politics between different factions and different guilds. That's the part we do not know. What I hope is that us, the community, the ESO players and Zenimax can work together to ensure that the experience of Imperial City will stay fun for most of people. It is very important because it's a very sandboxy part of the game that a lot of players are awaiting for years and that are happy to have finally, and we really should pay attention to not allow any sort of abuse or any sort of politics that ensures someone to dominate the place where they should not. We should try to keep this a place where every player can enjoy themselves and maybe lose a lot of stone. That's part of the game, but you need to be able to participate to it in the first place, otherwise it will not be fun. So we will have to see at release how things happen, but I have a lot of hope and a very positive opinion regarding this DLC. I think it will be a lot of fun for a lot of people. Well, time to say goodbye. It was my last video for a little while as I'm going in holidays, so I will not be able to edit more videos even if there is important news, but I will be back a little bit before September and I will try to provide you as much content as possible. Take care everyone, see you soon, bye bye.